Hi, I started the ketogenic diet many years ago, and I'll tell you, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've probably made just about every mistake in the book at one time or another, and I wish somebody would have filled me in on some of them. So today, I'm going to give you three of what I think are the biggest mistakes that people over 50, over 60 make when they begin the ketogenic diet. Number two is going to save you a lot of frustration. And at the end, I'll just throw in a bonus tip just for free. So here we go. Number one is that, and let's start here, is that most of the information that you're going to see on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, and so on is geared for people in their 30s and 40s. It's not geared for us who are over 50 and over 60. So our expectations need to be changed a little bit. Our outlook on the whole thing needs a little tweaking. So number one is protein. You see, protein's a big problem because everybody talks about fat on the ketogenic diet. You need fat, eat this and eat that, and make sure that it's full of fat because you need that 65 to 75% fat macro in order to get into ketosis. But one of the things we don't talk about, especially for us older, is the fact that we need protein. You see, as we get older, we develop muscle loss. So we naturally lose it. It's called sarcopenia. And then in the process of that, when we start to try to lose weight, a lot of times the weight we lose can be muscle mass. So we have to make sure that we're getting plenty of protein. So why is muscle important? Muscle is important to us because it's what keeps us going in our later years, because it helps drive our metabolism. It helps us, of course, with our balance and keeping us from falling. It helps us with our independence and our quality of life. So muscle is very important to us as we get older. So we just can't focus on the fat, but we also got to focus on getting our protein in so that we can protect our muscle mass. So you want to aim for 1 gram of protein for every pound of your ideal body weight. Okay, that's kind of the top of the line for me. So if, like me, I want to be 175 pounds, so I'm going to aim for 175 grams of protein a day. If you're looking to be 150 pounds, 150 grams of protein a day. 130 grams. And you see what I mean. Now you can go a little lower, and I've seen some recommendations for like 0.75 or 0.8. If you want to do that, just take your body weight that you want to get to, your ideal. Let's say it's 130, then get down and multiply 130 by 0.8. And that'll give you how many grams you need per day. So how do I get those grams? Well, it's pretty easy actually. Eggs is a good source if you like eggs because eggs have fat in them. And you'll find out that eggs, fatty fish, chicken thighs, chicken legs, beef, ground beef. And what I do with all of those, to be honest with you, is I fry those in ghee. And if I don't fry them in ghee, I fry them in butter or olive oil. Those are my three go-tos, but my number one is usually ghee. I fry everything in ghee. And before you know it, that fat total adds up pretty quickly. And especially if you're eating things like eggs and chicken thighs and ground beef, you'll hit that in your fatty fish. So if you have a lower appetite though, you might want to supplement. And you can try like a collagen powder. My recommendation, what I use normally is protein powder. And when using protein powder, you want to make sure that you find a protein powder that's low carb. A lot of protein powders have high carbohydrates in each serving. So you're going to want to look at the carbohydrates, make sure you're getting a protein powder that's got low carbs. And then that way you don't mess up your carbohydrate macros, because if you're on a ketogenic diet, you're trying to stay under at least 50, but you're trying to stay under 30 or 20 usually. So there you go. You want to make sure that it is. And also resistance training becomes your best friend. Now, how you do that's up to you, but any kind of resistant body weight training, Yeah, getting you some little dumbbells, resistant bands, and fix yourself a little program, and you'll thank yourself in your later years as you do this. Next up, and number 2 is a big one. This is one I told you. You'll thank me for this if you get this, is that your weight loss is going to be possibly slower than what you see everybody else. Remember, I just told you, these videos and this stuff you see on Facebook, it's all written for that crowd that is in their 20s and 30s and maybe even 40s. And it's not written for us who our metabolism is slowing down as we age. So if you're over 50 or 60, you may see a little less results than what they do in their 30s and 20s and even into 40s. Because what happens is you see those people and they're losing 2, 3, 4 pounds a week, and you think, oh, I'm going to lose 2, 3, 4 pounds a week. And then when it doesn't happen, you get discouraged, and a lot of times it causes people to fall off their diet. Don't do that. What you have to do is understand that your metabolism is slowing with age. You have hormonal changes, menopause, and men's testosterone begins to lessen. And you got decades of metabolic issues to deal with. So not always do we drop that, but if you're dropping a half a pound to a pound a week, and sometimes maybe you'll hit that ideal. The ideal is 2 pounds a week, and if you hit that, that's great. But there are other ways to define success too as we go through this. Number 1 is consistency. Just be consistent. And when you don't see the scale move, look at other places, those non-scale victories, and reframe what success looks like. And let me give you some ideas. So what you want to do is look at your energy, your mental clarity, your inflammation, your better sleep, your clothes fitting better, the better lab results you're getting. See, those are things that we look at, and we look at those as they compound over the months. So the scale isn't just the one thing that we focus on. Okay, so here's some ways to set yourself up for victory. Take some pictures of yourself. Okay, go and take them now. Take a picture of yourself, and then every, 2 weeks or every month, go back to that exact same location and exact same setup, take another picture of yourself. Do this too, take measurements. And if you Google that, you'll find all kinds of sites that'll give you what measurements to take and where to take them. But you're looking at taking your chest measurement, your stomach, your thighs, your arms, and so on. So take your measurements and then go back and say in a month, measure again, and then wait another month and measure again. And then track how you're feeling, Track yourself and see how you're feeling from day to day or week to week, and see what's going on, and give it 90 days before you really begin to judge yourself. And then you can look at it and see where you're at, and see if you need to make any changes, any tweaks to what you're doing. But give yourself that consistency, and remember, don't be comparing yourself to the young people. We're not young. We're 50, we're 60, we're over. It's okay, It is just that we do it and better our health, and that's what's important. Number 3, and this is a non-negotiable, and the problem is the keto flu. You see, what happens is that we don't supplement electrolytes and take it serious when we first start the keto diet. And if we don't, we're going to have that electrolyte imbalance, and it's going to cause us problems at the beginning, and it could wreck your diet completely. I know a lot of people who started keto, and they have run into the keto flu, as they call it, and when they did, they stopped their diet and went back to their regular way of eating because they just felt crappy. So let's look at it. See, the keto flu isn't really the flu, it's a deficiency in your electrolytes. And we can ward this off and really lessen the effect, or if not, completely miss it, if we do some simple things. See, at 60, we're at a greater risk for dehydration and mineral imbalances simply because we're older. Our kidneys aren't functioning like they used to, and they don't retain the sodium as efficiently as they did at one time. Some of the medications we're on can cause it. We have a lower muscle mass, and that causes us not to have the storage for electrolytes. So there you go. So what we need to do is to supplement. And if you're wondering, yes, I got my notes in front of me, because if I don't have my notes, I'm 62, I might forget something. You know what I mean? And I always want to make sure that you're getting stuff that will help you and improve your experience on the keto diet. So what you want to do is, we know that the big ones are sodium, potassium, magnesium. And here's what you want to do though. You want to start supplementing on day one. You don't want to do it after you get the keto flu. You want to do it to ward it off. So you want to start on day one. So you want to pay attention to this. So you want to make sure you're hydrated. Myself at 62, I'm still able, and I'm still drinking at least 6 to 8 glasses. Well, actually, I'm drinking more like 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. I drink 2 cups of broth a day. And if you've seen any of my past videos, you know my go-to is bouillon cubes. And I'll throw 8 ounces of water with 1, maybe 2 bouillon cubes. I like the taste sometimes. And I'll drink 2 glasses of that a day, 2 cups of that a day. Plus, if you really need it, and I'll give you some signs of that you're headed in that direction, and if you need it, you supplement electrolytes. You can go to your drink mix section at your local grocer. You know, I go to Walmart, and they have Element, LMNT, and then they even have cheaper supplements. So you can look at them and decide and try one of them and supplement electrolytes. So, but here's the warning signs that you're low. Headaches, fatigue's the one that always gets me. Muscle cramps, and I've had a few of those in the early days. Brain fog, dizziness. If you start feeling terrible and you feel that ache, and that's why they call it the keto flu, you almost feel like you're taking the flu. So if you feel that, you'll know that it's most always your electrolytes. You want to make sure. But the best thing to do is to supplement ahead of time. I had been off keto for a couple months, and I just got back on and straightened my diet back out. And when I started again, I made sure that I got the water, the broth, and I didn't supplement with the electrolytes this time, but I am into 3 weeks now, and I have had no sign, no touch of the keto flu. And as of right now, I've lost about 11 pounds, I believe. Maybe it was 12 pounds in the first 2.5 weeks. So I'm feeling good, doing well. Now, here's your bonus tip. And this is one that, you know, I faced, you're going to face. It's hard not to face this one. And it is social situations. You're going to be in social situations, and it's a natural thing. We've had all these years of eating together and going places with other people and gathering for family meetings and so on. And these things are established, and it becomes harder for us and eating out. So that's where we have to learn to make some adjustments. And we can do it. We just have to be conscious of it. And we have to remember that we're doing this for our health, we have to prioritize our health and our well-being. And we're doing this so we can sustain even a higher quality of life as we age, and that we can get off that extra weight that we're carrying and stay off of some of these medications and stuff. So if you're going to the restaurant, make sure you focus your meal on protein and veggies, and make sure you're focusing on your low carb veggies and on your proteins. You know, the fats will come with it, of course. And if you have to, ask for substitutes. You know, if you're eating a steak and it comes with a baked potato, say, hey, I'll take the asparagus instead, or give me broccoli instead. You know, make the substitutions and don't worry about it. You also want to skip that bread basket. I don't know about you, but if I go to Texas Roadhouse, I'm going to eat rolls. If I go to like Longhorn or Outback, I'm going to eat that bread. So make sure that the best strategy for me is that if I have the opportunity, I just tell them no bread. But if I'm eating with a group, then I'm going to have to do it myself. I'm going to have to sit there, and I'm going to have to keep from doing it and have a little bit of inner strength there. Anyway, family events, You know, try to eat before you go. I'm not saying fill up, but prepare yourself. Take a keto dish with you. You don't have to explain it unless you're asked, and you don't have to go into the whole thing because people really get upset. There's those jokes about vegetarians and how they're always telling you that they're vegetarians, and we don't want to be those kind of people that are always going around going, "Hey, I'm on the keto diet," and so just remember, you're doing this for your health and your energy. Just keep it simple. They don't want to lecture at Thanksgiving about how we Ketovians eat, but if they ask, you can explain that and stay the course. Just stay the course. Your health is your priority. You don't owe anyone any explanations, and then it gets easier as you go. So, listen, if you've gotten through all this, hey, get down there in the comment section. Let me know what you think. What do you struggle with? Have you struggled with any of these 3 that I just gave you today? Actually, these 4 points. How have you handled them? How do you handle eating out? How do you handle social situations? I've asked before, but have you dealt with the keto flu? So get down and give me some ideas of how it's going down in the comment section. Love to hear from you. I'll answer whatever questions I can. And if you don't mind, give me a like and maybe subscribe, and I'd appreciate that. So anyway, now, until the next time, I'm Grandpa Keto.